The promotion that became a turning point. Success often arrives in moments we expect to feel triumphant, moments we imagine will confirm our worth, validate our effort, and reinforce the path we're on. But sometimes, the achievement we've been chasing doesn't land the way we thought it would. Instead of clarity, it brings questions. Instead of certainty, it brings a quiet shift we never anticipated. For years, they had moved steadily toward this goal. Every late night, every challenge, every sacrifice pointed to this moment. The promotion everyone agreed was the natural next step. In today's world, where advancement is seen as the measure of progress, such milestones carry enormous weight. They reshape how others see us and how we see ourselves. When the promotion finally arrived, everything seemed to fall into place. The new title, the new responsibilities, the moment of recognition that came with it. People congratulated them, celebrated them, praised their hard work. And on the surface, it looked like the culmination of a perfectly executed plan. But beneath the excitement was something else. A feeling they didn't expect. A quiet tension, subtle yet persistent, that lingered even as they tried to ignore it. At first, they chalked it up to nerves or the pressure of new expectations. But as hours turned into days, the feeling remained, a faint, unsettling whisper that this milestone might not be the triumph they believed it would be. The whisper grew louder when they stepped into their new role. The work was heavier, the stakes were higher, the pace was faster. And while everyone else saw progress, they felt something shift within them. A realization that this achievement came with a cost they hadn't fully understood. It was the beginning of a turning point they never saw coming. At first, they tried to silence the discomfort. After all, wasn't this what they had worked toward for years? They reminded themselves of the effort, the sacrifices, the late nights that brought them here. They told themselves the unease would fade once they settled into the new rhythm. But instead of fading, it grew sharper, shaping their days in ways they couldn't ignore. They began noticing the subtle contrast between expectation and reality. The tasks they once enjoyed now felt burdened by layers of responsibility that pulled them away from the work they loved. The meetings multiplied. The pressure intensified. Decisions carried weight they hadn't anticipated. The promotion wasn't just a step upward. It was a shift in identity, one they weren't sure aligned with who they wanted to become. This realization created an internal conflict that deepened with time. People around them saw success. They saw momentum, prestige, accomplishment. But inside, a quiet dissatisfaction formed, not rooted in fear or challenge, but in misalignment. They were succeeding at something that no longer felt like the right path. Even small moments revealed the growing divide. They found themselves hesitating before walking into the office. They felt drained by tasks that once energized them. They noticed a sense of longing when hearing about roles that revolved around creativity, mentorship, or innovation, things their new position offered only in fragments. Then came the moment that crystallized everything. During a high-pressure meeting, surrounded by confident voices and rapid decisions, they suddenly felt like a spectator in their own career. They were performing the role expected of them, but their heart wasn't in performance. The realization hit with surprising force. They had climbed a ladder that might not lead where they truly wanted to go. This awareness didn't bring clarity. It brought tension, because knowing you're on the wrong path doesn't automatically reveal the right one. But it does change everything you see from that moment forward. The tension grew in the days that followed, shaping every decision in ways they hadn't anticipated. What once felt like an achievement now felt like an obligation, a role they had stepped into because it was expected, not because it was chosen. The realization unsettled them deeply. They wonder how long they had been drifting toward a version of success that didn't fully belong to them. As the weeks unfolded, the emotional conflict intensified. On one side was a life they had built brick by brick, supported by years of discipline and ambition. On the other was a growing pull towards something less defined, something that felt more aligned with their values, their creativity, their desire for meaningful impact. The two paths collided within them, creating a turbulence that made even simple moments feel charged. Their mind became a landscape of questions. Had they chased the wrong goal? Had they mistaken external recognition for internal fulfillment? Were they on a trajectory shaped by their own dreams or by expectations they had inherited without questioning? These doubts did not arrive all at once. They surfaced quietly, carried by moments of exhaustion, muted excitement, and a faint longing for something they couldn't yet describe. The conflict reached its peak during a late evening in the office. The building was quiet, the lights dimmed, and the weight of the day sat heavily on their shoulders. As they stared at the work in front of them, plans, projections, deadlines, they felt a sense of distance, as if the person expected to complete these tasks was no longer the person they were becoming. In that silence, a realization emerged. Their promotion had not created the misalignment. It had revealed it. For years, they had been moving forward on momentum alone, trusting that progress and purpose were the same thing. But now they understood the truth. They were succeeding at a life that no longer reflected their deepest ambitions. This understanding didn't solve the conflict. It intensified it. Because once you recognize that the path you're on may no longer be yours, every step forward feels like a step away from yourself. And with each passing day, the pressure to make a choice, to stay, to shift, to leap, grew heavier. They reached a moment when continuing on the same path felt impossible. The promotion that once symbolized progress had become a mirror, reflecting a truth they could no longer avoid. They weren't failing. They weren't overwhelmed. They were simply out of alignment with the future that waited for them beyond the comfort of what they knew. So they stepped back, not in defeat but in clarity. They began exploring possibilities they had once dismissed as unrealistic or untimely. Conversations with colleagues opened new perspectives. Quiet research late at night revealed opportunities that sparked energy instead of resistance. Slowly, the idea of change transformed from a distant fear into a tangible, necessary step. The leap didn't happen all at once. It arrived through a series of deliberate choices, setting boundaries, reevaluating priorities, seeking guidance, and letting go of expectations that no longer fit. With each decision, the weight on their shoulders began to lift, replaced by a sense of direction that felt both new and deeply familiar. In time, they transitioned into a role that aligned with their strengths in a way the promotion never had. It wasn't as prestigious. It wasn't as linear, but it was theirs. A path chosen with intention, shaped by values, and strengthened by the courage to admit when success becomes misalignment. Looking back, they understood the true nature of turning points. They don't always arrive with crisis or loss. Sometimes they come disguised as achievements, moments meant to reveal what we truly want, not what we've merely pursued. And when we listen, those moments guide us toward a life that reflects who we are becoming, not who the world expects us to be. Sometimes the smallest shift in perspective becomes the beginning of a new future.